Alright, welcome to our newest unit. We're looking at graphing in this unit. So why don't we go ahead and start just with this warm-up, just to kind of review the method of solving equations. So go ahead and pause the video and see if you can find the answer to these two problems. Alright, for number 1, we have 3c minus 7 equals 32. So remember, we like to identify that variable term first, which is 3c. And outside the box we have that minus 7, so to get rid of a minus 7, I'm going to go ahead and add 7 to both sides. And now I have 3c is equal to 39. Because it's 3 times c, I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by 3. So c is going to equal 13. Alright, on our second one, our variable term is 17y. Since it's plus 7, I'm going to go ahead and subtract 7 from both sides. And then 17 is going to equal 58 minus 7, which is 51. 17y. Because they're being multiplied, I'm going to go ahead and divide, and y is equal to 3. So now in this lesson, we're just going to kind of review some things that we've already been working on by looking at writing solutions of equations of two variables and ordered pairs. So let's look at an example. The company that makes team uniforms for a soccer league charges a $20 fee for the team artwork and then $10 for each jersey. Dominic's team has 14 players, Ashley's team has, or Alyssa's team has 12, and we want to find the cost for a set of jerseys for each team. Here they're telling us to let y equal the total cost, and x is the number of jerseys needed. So in general, if we were to write a regular equation, total cost is going to be y. Now here, because it's a $20 fee, it's a one-time fee, it's going to be 20 plus the $10 per jersey, or 10 times x. And now, because we have an equation, I can go ahead and substitute in the number of jerseys that we would need. So for Dominic's, we would put in 14. So we'd have y equals 20 plus 10 times 14. So y would equal 20 plus 140, giving us a total cost of $160. So now why don't you go ahead and pause the video and see if you can find Alyssa's team charge on your own. Alright, so here we're going to have y equals 20 plus 10 again, but now this time the 10 is going to be multiplied by 12 because there's 12 players. Following order of operations, it's going to be 10 times 12, which is 120. So their final cost would be just $140. Now when we were doing that, we were actually creating what is called an ordered pair. An ordered pair is a pair of points or a pair of numbers that can be used to locate a point on a coordinate plane. A solution of a two-variable equation can be written as an ordered pair. So for example, the ordered pair of 14 160 is a solution because, like we showed in the problem, so when it was 14 jerseys the cost was 160. Here 12 and 140 is an ordered pair because when there was 12 jerseys the cost was 140. Alright, so now we're going to look at an equation and some ordered pairs and just determine whether the ordered pair is in fact a solution. So in other words, when we put it in, we're going to see that it works for both variables. Our first equation is y equals 4x minus 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to substitute in 3 for our x value because it's the first point in the ordered pair, and 11 for our y. It's kind of like checking our work when we were solving equations. So here 11 needs to equal 4 times 3 minus 1. Order of operations, 4 times 3 is 12 minus 1. 11 is in fact equal to 11, so this would be a solution. On our second one, we'd have y equals 4 times 10 minus 1, and actually instead of y, we're going to have 3. So we'd have 3 equals 40 minus 1. 3 does not in fact equal 39, so this is not a solution. So now it's your turn. Why don't you go ahead and try this one out on your own. So pause the video and try it out. Alright, so when we look at our first one, it's saying that 38 is equal to 5 times 7 plus 3. Well, 5 times 7 is 35. And then 3 plus 35 is 38. And since 38 is equal to 38, yes, this is a solution. In our second one, we have y equals 5 times 9 plus 3. So here, I can already tell that it's not going to work because 9 times 5 is 45, and since we're getting bigger, we know that they are not equal, so this is not an equation, or not a solution. Now, from equations, we can actually then create tables which are going to be useful when we get to graphing. So here, we want to use the equation y equals x plus 3 for these values, and we're going to put them in the table to create ordered pairs. So what this is saying is if we have x is 1, it would be 1 plus 3, which would be 4, so our ordered pair would be 1, 4. This would be 2 plus 3, which would be 5, so ordered pair would be 2, 5. 3 plus 3, which is 6, 3, 5, and then 4 plus 3 is equal to 10, so then we would have 4, 10. Alright, so let's look at another example. Now you may notice on this table the setup is slightly different. Instead of it working vertically, so up and down like the last one, we actually see it working left to right. Either way is fine. It might come down to personal preference, but it's good to be able to read both types of tables. So here we're going to have 6 times our m value, which is 1, minus 5. This gives us an n value of 1, so our ordered pair would be 1, 1. Our second one, we have 6 times 2, which is 12, minus 5 is 7, so our ordered pair would be 2, 7. And our third one would be 6 times 3, which is 18, and then minus 5, which would be 13, so our ordered pair would be 3, 13. Alright, so now why don't you go ahead and try this table out on your own. So pause the video, go ahead and check it out. So just really quickly, we have 1 plus 6, which is 7, so our ordered pair would be 1, 7. We have 2 plus 6, which would be 8, so it would be 2, 8. 3 plus 6 is 9, so we'd have 3, 3, 9 as our ordered pair. And then this becomes 4 plus 6, which would be 10, so our ordered pair would be 4, 10. Now, there are some real-life applications to how we can create ordered pairs, and they help us solve problems. One such example is a salesman marks up the price of everything he sells by 20%. The equation for the sales price, P, is equal to 1.2 times W, where W is the wholesale cost. So we want to know what will be the sale price of a sweater with a wholesale cost of $48. So we go and use that equation. So P is equal to, because we don't know what P is, 1.2 times the price of our sweater, which is $48. So now when I do 1.2 times 48, I get 57.6. And since we're talking money, I'm just going to make that into 60. So the sale price he would charge would be $57.60. Alright, so now it's your turn. Why don't you go ahead and try this one out on your own. So this one we're looking at most states charge sales tax. If sales tax is 7.5%, this would be the formula, the equation for the total cost. So we want to know how much will a $22 item cost after sales tax. Well, your cost is equal to 1.075 times your price. So in this case, times 22. So when I do this, I get a final answer of $23.65. So let's look at one more example, and I want you to try this one on your own. Kind of think of it as your end of the lesson quiz. So go ahead and pause the video and try this one out. A plumbing company charges $50 for a service call and $15 per hour. They went on a 3-hour job. How much did the company earn? So if we write an equation, we have the $50 for a service call and $15 per hour. Whenever you see that per, that typically is the spot where you're going to see any multiplication. So the total charge is going to equal $50 just for them to come out plus an additional $15 per hour. So if it's a 3-hour call, we're going to have C equals 50 plus 15 times 3. So it becomes 50 plus 45. So in the end, the company would earn $95. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, you can go ahead and get started on your work.